So welcome to Priti, Gupta and Dharmendra networking event.
Thank you, Dharmendra.
Could you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, my name is Shrish, Kher. I have been a trainer for the past 9 years. And the most recent thing I'm here to speak about is a new service I offer, which is for trainers.
Okay, I think I'll just take the call. Hello? Dead? Oh, okay. Thanks. Can we just stand for a minute? I just got some bad news about it. It's a death news. The old TDT, trainer, is dead.
Amen.
So you're going to talk about the new trainer.
I can.
Thank you. So firstly, why is the old trainer dead?
But it's not dead, it's just that I think it's not the right thing for people in this room. I've interacted with them for a little while and it appears to me that people in this room are experienced trainers. TTT is for a novice trainer, or a trainer who's just starting out and wishes to know what all is there in training. An experienced trainer, if a person like this is open to feedback and wants to work on a specific skill, an experienced trainer needs something else. They need much more specific feedback and they need to work on something not at the level of getting new knowledge but actually behavior change. That is the problem with TTTs and that's what we are here to address.
Okay, so how exactly does it work? If there's a trainer who approaches you, what is the methodology?
I would start by having a detailed conversation with the trainer, asking him what are his training objectives, or if there's a particular habit or two that he's trying hard to change. In my opinion, most experienced trainers have a fairly good idea of what would differentiate them in the marketplace, what are their strengths that they would like to play up. The next step is the trainer invites me or Vivek is my partner, to witness one of their actual training programs. During this training program, we are flies on the wall who are watching the trainer very carefully. So we keep a log, we make our observations. During coffee breaks, we connect with the trainer, offer feedback, and we can then see the trainer going, alright, I want to work further on feedback number 3. Watch me try to change this behavior in the next 2 hours, in the next lunch break. So this cycle is repeated twice or thrice during the day. In our initial pilots, we've done about 5 of them. We've met with quite a bit of success. We've seen change of 1 or 2 habits by the end of the single training day.
So how would you say your trainer Aide, as you call it?
Aide the trainer.
Aide the trainer. How would you say that's different from executive coaching?
So I see why you're asking the question. So it's similar in one respect and different in another. It's similar because it retains the intensity of one-on-one work, which a TTT lacks. But it's different because even an executive coach would have a conversation with you, but then when it's time for you to go out into the field and implement, the coach is not there. He would again reappear 15 days later and have an hour of conversation. Aide the trainer is different because we not only have the conversation with you, but when you're in the battlefield doing what you do, we are with you and holding you all the way till the change happens. So we are really last mile service providers. If you have a fairly good idea of where you want to go, we will handle you in those final stages.
Anything else that you want to tell us about Aide the trainer that you think we haven't covered?
A couple of things spring to mind. One is and I probably am guilty of this myself, having been a trainer. Training programs usually happen in a simulated environment. So if I want to go and learn a skill, I would go there, attend a training program in a simulation, which is quite a safe environment. And then the big problem is, how do I port those learnings into my real life situation? We want to solve that by saying that we come to your real life situation. Choose your toughest training program, invite us there. All the work will happen there and then. And so a success which you had in a real life situation stays with you. There is no more testing to be done, the proof is all there. Another thing is, any kind of upskilling usually involves you taking a leave from whatever it is you do and going, spending money and 3 or 4 days in a TTT. Here that's not the case. You're earning while you're working on your skills. That's very real time.
Right. And apart from this, are you offering any other services for trainers or anybody else?
So we want to offer this in 2 flavors. One is, we would call it a sampler, which is a half-day program where we end the intervention with feedback. Because sometimes you might just want a menu card of behaviors which you may want to choose from. So the intervention doesn't stay with you till the change happens, but ends at feedback giving. This can be accomplished in half a day. And the other flavor is the full-featured version, you could call that, where the identification of what you want to change probably happens even before the intervention starts. And then the intervention is focused solely on making the change in behavior.
Okay, so that's still the trainer.
It's still
It's similar to that.
Yes.
So apart from this, are you offering anything else to, let's say, individuals or corporates, any other kind of training?
Well, it's essentially the same thing that we do, but they could use it in a different manner. Let me elaborate. We think the trainer space is a very crowded one. Name any one topic of training and you can find many trainers often at the same price point. In a crowded marketplace, I think the one way to thrive and be remembered by clients is to be different. In order to be different, one must be acutely aware of what one's strength is and how one can differentiate oneself. I think our service can provide some input there in terms of figuring out what is it that a trainer does that's really sets him or her a class apart from the others. In the course of our work, having seen several trainers work, we are uniquely placed to give this particular feedback to a trainer that this is one thing you do which is really unique and I think we should play this up.
And how did you think of this idea? Does this kind of concept exist anywhere else in the world? Are they guys doing it too?
Well, not for trainers and not in live programs. So there are coaching services for trainers which aren't live. And there are TTTs which are for trainers, but they also are group sessions, so not focused 100% on one trainer. The idea came to us when I once had my partner Vivek audit one of the training programs I was doing. And this was after having been a trainer for 9 years and having received consistently good feedback. Probably with such good feedback, a certain sense of overconfidence and cockiness creeps into each one of us. In the first couple of hours, he had a long list of things I could change. And that's when it struck me that the more experienced we become as trainers, probably the chances that we'll have blind spots increases. And that was the birth of this idea. Could we offer a service to trainers which shows them, a neutral observer's view, something they could use. Of course, people could use a video recording of their own program, but the video recording doesn't speak to them in the way that a neutral human observer can. A video recording is like lots of feedback coming at you, minute by minute recording. But then if you're looking at the video recording with your own eyes, you're still biased. So the value we add is we are sharp observers. Our feedback is candid. We don't beat around the bush. And it's we do it in the midst of a real program where you can use the feedback the moment your coffee break gets over.
The research has proved that when people are being observed, they tend to do better. There's this famous Hawthorne experiment which is talked about a lot in management books. Every MBA would have heard of the Hawthorne experiments, where they would study the impact of a better office environment, better lighting, better ventilation on the performance of workers. Which doesn't make any sense, because when people know they're being observed, suddenly they're going to work harder. How do you eliminate or reduce that bias?
Okay, so in the initial programs that we've done, we've actually found things to be quite the opposite of what the Hawthorne experiment said. So here's what a few trainers have shared with us. They said that apart from my training agenda, which occupies 95% of my mind space, if I also have a self-improvement agenda, I need a reminder service. And the situation is worse the more engaged the trainer is in the training program. The more engaged a trainer is in the training program, the less he or she will remember that, look, I had to improve this thing. So what they really need is a person who stands out from the participant group, who is sitting there watching them, who reminds them every 5 minutes, not very visibly, but just so that whenever they look at an observer at the back, they remember, oh, I've got to change something about my performance today. That makes them not nervous really, because we are not really in the face. We really choose a chair back there somewhere. But that reminder service makes them work very actively on their change agenda. And one trainer went to the extent of saying that the biggest value you added today from the back seat is that you were visible today.
So, isn't there a danger that the minute you become invisible, this performance flags?
Yes, the danger is very real. So here's one way to look at it. If you never started on that experiment of change, then you're guaranteed will never even go anywhere. Our intervention is a chance for you to at least start. Practice that habit, a new habit, twice, thrice, 4 times during the day. And then there's a chance that awareness will carry forward to the next session, if you found the new habit rewarding during that day.
Great, so you have spoken in depth about your way that a trainer could use to enhance his career, to enhance his income, to get more clients. So that's very, very specific. Anything general, any general message you want to send out to trainers as to how they can market the services better to increase their income?
So this is not like advice, but this is what I have found. 2 things. One, listen to what the customer wants. Really listen. And 2, don't go with answers. Work on every problem as if it were a fresh problem. Reinvent the wheel.
Right. Okay. Great. So our time is almost up. Any closing message? Anything else you want to just add as a last phrase?
Pretty much finished saying what I had.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.